Picture this. It's 1932. Australia is in the grip of the Great Depression, and farmers are struggling to survive. As if things weren't tough enough, a new enemy appears on the horizon. Not a foreign army, but an invasion force of 20,000 emus migrating to the farmlands of Western Australia and feasting on the precious wheat crops. The farmers, many of them World War I veterans, petitioned the government for help. The response? Australia officially declared war on birds. The government didn't mess around. They deployed the Royal Australian Artillery, led by Major G.P.W. Meredith. His soldiers were armed with not one, but two Lewis machine guns and 10,000 rounds of ammunition. You'd think this would be a quick, decisive victory, right? A modern army versus a bunch of flightless birds. Well, what unfolded was one of history's most bizarre and hilarious military failures. The first assault was a complete disaster. The army spotted a flock of about 50 emus. They set up the machine guns and opened fire. But the emus weren't like stationary targets. They were fast, they were unpredictable, and they scattered in every direction, running in small groups. The soldiers couldn't get a clean shot. After firing thousands of rounds, they had only managed to take down a dozen or so emus. Major Meredith later commented that each emu had the resilience of a tank. They were just too tough and too clever. News of the Great Emu War spread like wildfire. Newspapers in Australia and around the world had a field day, mocking the Australian military for being outsmarted by birds. The headlines were brutal. One British politician even asked in Parliament if a medal would be awarded for this war. Humiliated, Major Meredith and his troops were forced to withdraw after less than a week. Round one went to the emus, but the farmers' problems didn't go away, so they pleaded for help again. A second assault was launched. This time, the military had a bit more success, but the numbers were still staggering. It took, on average, over 10 bullets to kill just one emu. The whole operation was deemed a failure. The government finally gave up on a military solution and switched to a bounty system, which proved to be far more effective over time. So, what's the lesson from the Great Emu War? It's a classic tale of man versus nature, showing that brute force and machine guns are no match for the unpredictability of the wild. Today, it's a legendary piece of Australian folklore, a source of national pride and a good laugh. It's the story of the time Australia lost a war to a bunch of birds. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more weird history.